Well, I'll be honest. Like, I hate to. No, I don't hate to say. Like, I follow the training. Like, everything that I do with due diligence is on that form. I mean, what I look for now.
You're like the due diligence master. You spoke on it in Vegas. It's one of the cheat codes.
I was doing due diligence with a good friend of mine in the banking industry, and I found a whole bunch of low-hanging fruit I never thought even was possible. So I love due diligence. We're building out like a few websites just for him right now, but it's good. What was the question? Because I had
love it. Yeah.
my mic was like not working right, so.
No worries, you're good. So yeah, I can feed the question. So Devin was asking kind of a couple of things, like one in general, like how do you approach due diligence? Do you have like a special form that's different than what's in the training? Like what are you looking for? I kind of know some of like what your answer is going to be, but I want to hear it straight from the master's mouth.
Well, I'll be honest, like I don't hate to say, like I follow the training. Like everything that I do with due diligence is on that form. I mean, what I look for now, because, when you're first starting off, you want to make sure that, you're going after low hanging fruit industries, right? That's what we teach, because we want you to get wins, build your confidence, get money underneath your belt, because the more wins you can get fast, the more confidence you build. Once you're done at going after low hanging fruit industries, like remember, there's like mid-level fruit, high-level fruit, Mike Tyson fruit, or weed. He does, whatever he does. But you know what I'm saying? Like there's lots of different levels in lead generation. And so some industries are a lot harder than others. They take a lot more time. You can rank things on a national, global, or statewide scale. So the world opens up once you get past low-hanging fruit industries, even though like to this day, I'm finding low-hanging fruit industries being almost 5 years in. So when it comes to like due diligence, I really follow a lot of the same sheet. I look at how many reviews are on Google, if they're ranking on page one, the strength of their backlinks, how many citations they got, how many local competitors are there, what's the average. I think some of the extra things I might add, Devin, is what's the average ticket price? Because I'm tired of carpet cleaners. I don't go after carpet cleaners. I don't go after lawn care. I don't go after industries that have ticket prices of under, a few $100, because it takes so many more leads to make the same amount of money. And it's the same amount of work. So why not put that work into something that's gonna like for example, I'll give everyone a niche, like retaining walls. Why not build a website for retaining walls that's like a $10,000 project? You get 20 of those leads coming in, you get paid a few grand for that. Why not go after that versus a carpet cleaner that's like $50? So
for sure. No, I 100% agree with you. I think honestly, probably the only thing that's in there, and Dan talks about this in the training too, when he talks about easy money clients, right? Where there's this idea of knowing like, hey, what's your network? Who do you know that has businesses? That can cut both ways, right? Like a lot of us know a realtor or a mortgage lender, right? Those are really highly competitive industries and maybe not the first one that you want to go into, but at the same time, who do you know? What kind of businesses do they have? I think really and then adding in the ticket value, I think is huge. I came from the financial publishing space and would rent out email lists and find people that had email lists that would run offers to their audience, whether it's gold or investing ideas or stock newsletters, you name it. And we would get hit up all the time from people who would want to run traffic to our lists, which were, a certain demographic, and that demographic fit their offer, but they were maybe doing like some kind of health offer or something like that would pay a tenth of what one of these financial offers would pay. So it's like there was an opportunity cost if we would run that offer versus the one that's going to pay more. And so the same thing, I think when you're looking at, it's less, Devin, probably about what numbers you're looking for, because it's all there in the due diligence form, other than maybe the ticket price piece. Look at that, because it already goes over, whether it's a walk-in thing or like a phone call type of a lead, right? You want to go for the phone call type lead. But other than that, I think go ahead.
Yeah, even with some of that, like, I mean, there's so many industries out there. I think I saw somebody say, like, who was I was just scrolling, like somebody doesn't like due diligence. I wish to aspire to be like that. Listen, I don't mind outsourcing everything except for due diligence, because I think that that's a part of learning how to be a consultant to these business owners, where you make extra side money, second, third, fourth
100%.
money. You know,
100%.
like you get to give them how you see the market, how you see the gaps in the market. Literally, I had my friend over. He was here for like 4 hours the other day, and by the end of it, he's like, I was like, so what are your goals? Like, what do we want to do? And he was like, well, if we could each make like $250,000, then that'd be a good first year. I was like, bet. I was like, let's, like, I already did the due diligence. I was here with him. He was like, what are you, like, he had no clue what I was doing. So he was seeing that value. And then like, we're doing like a profit sharing. He's a great friend of mine. He's been one of my best friends for like over a decade. So like, it's like great there, but he just moved down to Florida from Jersey because he's smart and it's not as cold. And then, and so he's building his book of business down here, and he knows what I do. And so I was like, yeah, let's hang out. So he came to the Hustle House, and, you know, we started talking and thinking of ideas. I got like whiteboards everywhere. I got, you know, the money stuff behind me. So we're just kind of thinking through things. And then I started showing him like, oh, look at this gap, look at that gap. And then we're talking about all these different types of pages to build. Because sometimes also, and I'll hit on this for a little bit, you know, when you're building out your sites, like Dan talks about in the training, like how to rank for like multiple cities. So you always get that question, like, should I build, you know, multiple city pages on one site or just build separate sites for multiple cities? And I always say it depends on your budget, you know, because if you have a decent budget, do both. Why not take up like as much spot 100%. On page one? You know what I mean?